Okay, welcome to the webinar, Bitrix24 Next Level CRM. So who are we? I'm Damien Edwards, Commercial Manager of Bitrix24 Partners Interface. I have with me our Support Manager, Andy Naylor.
Hi guys, if you've got any questions throughout this webinar, just put them in the box provided and we can have a Q&A session at the end of each topic.
So we're partners of Bitrix24, Gold Partners. We are located in the UK and we have offices in New York and Dubai. We're able to provide pre-sale support, so a demo, answer your questions about the different editions of Bitrix, a full implementation service including customization. If you choose a self-hosted version of Bitrix, then we can provide a hosting solution in our data center, or we can install it on your own server. And then we provide support, a premium support package, a telephone support package. In case you don't know, what is Bitrix24? Suite of tools for managing your business, from sales, projects and HR. More than 4 million organizations use Bitrix24, consistently voted within the top 10 CRMs in the world, and available as a cloud and self-hosted solution. Cloud product is available actually free of charge for the base product. Commercial packages starting from $24 a month. Self-hosted solution, priced slightly differently. You pay annually, really annually or lifetime, essentially. Base product for a 12 user self-hosted account is just under $1,500. So why choose Bitrix24 for your CRM? Bitrix includes considerable marketing tools, email campaigns, SMS campaigns, we're going to look at those later. Tools for capturing and qualifying leads from multiple sources. Options on different pipelines for different product categories and areas of your business. You can build a full picture of all your interactions with your customers, so not just your own, but everyone within your organization. And there's a number of tools for monitoring teams and reporting. So we're going to split this into 4 different topics. We're going to look at, firstly, the tools for generating leads. There are a number of different ways of doing that. We'll look at ways to automate some of your process for qualifying leads, and then some of the actions that you need to perform when you have live opportunities in the system. And we'll run through, certainly we'll run through a case study from start to finish, capturing a lead, adding some activity to that, do some automation, and then winning that lead. And then we'll look at the end how you can do, different ways you can do reporting inside Bitrix. So there are some of the ways you can capture leads inside, or generate leads inside your Bitrix CRM. Some of them worth talking about, I think, things like live chat widgets. So Bitrix includes a tool to generate the code to add to your site, so you can have instant messaging with people who are visiting your website. Can integrate with social networks such as Facebook, so anyone messaging on your Facebook page, you can reply to them quickly from your Bitrix CRM. We're going to have a look at some of these in detail. Telephony is another one. So Bitrix has telephony built in, incoming calls to your system from numbers that don't already exist will generate a lead inside your Bitrix CRM. And we're going to look at this also, sites. So within Bitrix new site module, sites module, you can generate landing pages for marketing campaigns. So let's have a look at a couple of these. We're going to have a look at live chat, and we'll have a look at how to build a landing page, and we'll look at how to do some email campaign inside Bitrix. First thing, how do we set the live chat widget up? So we've got one set up already. I'll just run through a couple of the settings that are available. So very simple to set up. Doesn't require any complex training, coding or anything anything like that. First thing you probably want to do is just choose who's going to be assigned to these new leads. You can actually assign, I believe, more than one person to this list of people, and then choose how those new inquiries are going to be distributed amongst those people. Importantly here, verify client in CRM database. So what you want to do if they don't exist in the CRM database, in this case, we're going to create a new lead.
Yeah, so just a point on that, creating a new lead. So in the live chat widget, which we're going to show you in a moment, there is a form where it's an optional form where your visitor can enter in their name, can enter in their email address, and that's what Bitrix checks to see whether they exist in the CRM already. So if they don't exist, this is where it's going to generate a lead for you.
Sure, and you create, yeah, absolutely. So they populate that. If they populate information, then it'll check automatically inside your system. At the top on the left-hand side, a couple of other things that you can do in here: set people's work times so they're not allocated chat messages if they're not actually at work. You can set up your automated welcome messages and various other automated messages. We have automatically, we send chat users a form to fill out, asking us for some feedback on that, and you can configure the questions of that form over here. So we'll look at the chat. If you go back to the code, show you where we generate the code. Let's go back into edit, and this is the code. So once you've configured your settings, you can actually choose some of the settings over here. So we've got a purple one. You can change the background, choose where it's going to actually be displayed on your website. Choose things like, do you want the widget to display immediately? It's quite effective to have it introduced after a period of time, after a short delay. You can set that over there. This will generate the code for you. You can add that to your website, put that in your footer, I think, of your website, and it will generate a widget like this. So this one, we've got actually a couple of different tools in here. We've got inquiry form, we've got a callback form, we've got a live chat form. So this is the new UI for the Bitrix live chat. It's been updated recently. We can see who's online. I think if you've got a team, it will show us the team of people online over there. And we can chat. The user can chat in there, and you can reply instantly on your side. Okay. And we receive an instant notification at the top.
Yeah, so the good thing about the live chat is, let's just close this down, is you don't have to leave Bitrix at any point. And once a live chat comes in from your website, you can see it just appears in the open channel widget on the right-hand side, and it's pretty instant. You can see here Damien's replying. This is what we were mentioning earlier, the option to provide a name and provide an email and so on. And this is the information that's going to generate a lead. So we could say Bitrix24.com, and we can provide a number if we wanted to. Click on send. So you can see there the information that we replied with from Bitrix, and it's an instant chat message between you and you can see there.
Okay, so yeah, I can see the message, but also, importantly, we can see the lead, or the form that it's completed the form. This will generate a lead inside our system.
And yeah, that's simply closing the lead itself, cleaning the conversation itself, and you can see here this is the feedback that you can provide. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple to add to your website. As Damien mentioned, you just add the embed code into your footer. Works on sites such as WordPress, your own custom build sites can be added to any.
Okay, let's have a look at a landing page. How you can create a landing page. Within Bitrix, you can create full websites, but you can create landing pages for marketing campaigns. We'll have a look at how to do that, and then we'll have a look at how to create an email campaign to promote that landing page.
Yeah, certainly. So Bitrix comes with a sites module, and this is available on all versions of Bitrix, so from the free to the professional to the on-premise. With the free version, you can only create one site. With the paid packages, you can create multiple sites. So, as Danny mentioned, we're just going to show you an example of creating a landing page, because landing pages are great to send your email marketing campaigns out with a link directly back to the landing page, and therefore it will let you collect the data that you need. So let's take a look at this particular example, and I'll open up another tab here. And they are very easy and very straightforward to create. You can see here that we have straight Bitrix24 webinar, learn all the latest features. And if we scroll down, then we have a CRM form embedded into our site here. We even have the widget. So you can quickly and easily create these landing pages using one of the templates that Bitrix provide. So we can click on the create site here. I won't go through the whole process. We actually have a webinar, Sell More with Sites, that goes a little bit more in depth into this. But you can see here we have a whole range of different templates that you can create your landing page from to collect the data that you need. So that's what Bitrix offers for creating your landing pages. The second area that we can generate the leads from is the CRM marketing tool that Bitrix provides. And again, this is available on all versions of Bitrix. And we have the capability to create an email campaign, SMS campaign, messengers, such as using the open channels features through Facebook, and also voice broadcasting using Bitrix telephony. So the good thing is with the CRM marketing is that it integrates with your CRM perfectly. Click into the segment section, we can pull contact lists from your CRM, and if we create a segment just to show you, so in fact if we clicked on clients and if we wanted to pull in contacts, for example, and we can say contact source is going to be any one of these. So it may be that you've collected data from any exhibitions that you've gone to, or any conferences, and they've all been tagged with show exhibition. Then we can create a tailored list to send your email marketing campaign to. In our case, if we just search, you can see here we have 5 emails, 5 phone numbers, and 5 contacts. And the reason why it says that is so that you know that you can send this campaign to an SMS campaign because it's got the phone numbers, or a voice broadcast campaign because it's got the phone numbers. And essentially the same with an email campaign. So if we said this is CRM mailing list, and again, like I say, this is all the data that is being pulled from the CRM. If you wanted to pull in your own list, you can simply click on import and import from a text file. So if we click on save, and then I'll just show you how to quickly set up a campaign. So the sole purpose of these campaigns is to generate the leads. This is one of the key tools inside Bitrix to do so. If we click on create campaign and create email campaign, then again, pretty much like the sites module, we have a range of different templates to use. You can import your own if you wanted to. So if you're currently using something like MailChimp, you can export out of MailChimp and embed into the custom HTML option. So if we say convert lead into a client, you can see here the first option, click the segment. So if I click on my segments, you can see the mailing list I've just created. Give the attend Bitrix24 CRM webinar. So you can see there we give it a subject, and the blocks, you can see this template is pre-built, but we can easily drag and drop new. So if I wanted to bring in an image and some text, we'll drop it below. You can see how easy it is to just drag and drop. If we wanted to click on the box and edit it, you can see the content here is pretty simple to add and edit. So anything's editable just by clicking on the pencil icon. It's very straightforward. And if we click on more, we can send priorities. We can specify who the sender of the email campaign is. We can add any attachments to the email that we want, and we can also add UTM parameters to track and monitor your campaign. If you want to send a test, it's quite quick and easy. And then finally, sending the email, you can specify whether you want to send it later manually. You can send it now, so as soon as I hit that and press save, it will send all our campaign out, and we can also schedule it for the future too. So the final aspect just to touch upon is the reporting side of the campaigns. So you can see here the Bitrix24 webinar 26th of November. If you click into statistics here, then we can see how many clicks, how many opens, anybody that's unsubscribed, and we also can see where people have clicked as well.
Yeah, we've got, so this is a demo, and so we haven't got any data inside this one. It's showing zeros on here, but you will see these graphs fill up, and yeah, as Andy says there, you'll actually see where somebody's clicked on the email itself. So are they clicking on images? Are they clicking on the call to action that you've set up for them? Or are they clicking on something else that you didn't expect them to? So you get the full statistics on who's clicking where on your email, just as you do in other providers such as MailChimp. So really, everything you can do in MailChimp, you can do inside Bitrix now. So there's no need to pay for MailChimp. Most of this is included in your subscription to Bitrix. So.
Yeah, and I think, like again, it is available on all versions of Bitrix. If you do want to know how many emails you're allowed per account, I recommend just jumping on the Bitrix24 website and taking a look at the email limits.
Okay. See if we've got any questions. Can we pick up live chats on the mobile app? You can do that on the mobile app. So quite a good question really. If you've assigned chats to a particular user from a particular widget on a landing page that they're in charge of and they're not at their desks, then they can get those on the mobile and instantly reply to them from the mobile. Can we import our own email template? So I think we looked at there's an HTML template there which allows you to input your own code into there. I think using the standard Bitrix templates is good, is advisable, because they will work on any device. So you've got to be aware that people are opening them on the mobiles and tablets as well as desktops. So.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of questions just about the on-premise install. Do you recommend using a provided virtual appliance or doing a fresh, clean install? It's completely up to you. We've got our own environment that we would use, which is 30% more optimized than the Bitrix virtual appliance. So please do get in touch with us if you want us to discuss that. And then the second one was, can an on-premise setup be installed on Ubuntu, or is it CentOS, Red Hat, and is supported? So we actually run it on Ubuntu. So yes, that's absolutely fine.
But yeah, as Andy says there, if you're setting up Bitrix on-premise, then get in touch with us, because we'll provide our environment free of charge for you. And yeah, there are a number of additional benefits to using our environment for that. It does run very, very quickly, and it is a little bit more configurable than the standard Bitrix environment.
So can you run auto replies, preset answers to the web chats? So, you can have the preset, and you can have the auto replies as soon as somebody was to submit a chat. I think Damien showed you the auto responders. But Bitrix also does have chatbots. So if you want to have a look at the chatbot API, it's possible that you could develop something that would have preset answers to particular questions. So yeah, it's something certainly to look into.
Okay, can you run Bitrix PBX on the cloud or on premise? We're referring to telephony here. Then the answer is yes. You can run Bitrix telephony system on either of those. On the cloud, of course, when you create an account, that's going to be set up for you straight away. With on-premise, you just need to make sure that your environment is set up in the correct way. And if you get in touch with us, we'll provide our environment, which will allow telephony to work on a self-hosted instance. But essentially, they work on both, provided it's configured correctly. Okay, let's have a look at some of the automation tools in Bitrix. So we have automation available in leads and deals. Automation works based on the statuses of those two modules and can trigger some actions that allow you to really process those inquiries quickly and efficiently. So let's look into leads first of all. Okay, so we can see that we've got a list of leads here. They have a list of different stages. You can name these stages yourself to suit your business. We're going to have a look at stages on deals in a minute as well. Deal stages are dependent on the pipelines. You have multiple different pipelines. With leads, you just have one pipeline.
Yeah, so I mean, the main purpose of having these stages really is so that you can go through a series of different actions, and we're going to show you those automation rules in a moment, to qualify this lead, and essentially with the outcome of converting it into qualified opportunities, which is what we classify deals as.
Yeah, absolutely. So we open up the automation tab here by clicking to configure here, then you can see that those stages are replicated across the top. Got some additional ones at the end on the automation page, which shows the lost statuses of these. It might be that you actually want to record why you've lost that lead or why you closed it down. It might be that you lost it because they weren't interested. It might be that you've lost it because you chose that they weren't a good fit for your business. You might want to report on that. But essentially, in this process, as a new lead, we send out a thank you email, and then we instantly change the stage of this to call client. When it gets to call client, it actually schedules an introduction call, and we've got a control element here, so it'll actually notify a supervisor should this lead not progress beyond this stage within 3 days. A bit further along, when we get to this stage here, we have demo task. So this will generate a task for the responsible person for this lead in order to perform a demo. Just right at the end, we've actually got a couple of notifications to the salesperson, the responsible person. So it might be that actually after a period of time, in this case after 30 days, you want to pick up these leads again, see if you can bring them back to life. Let me just show you what else is available in terms of rules within the system. Not run through them all, but you can add comments to activity streams within the record. You can change responsible person, which we looked at. You can change the status. You can create using source. We'll have a look at that in a minute. That will create an invoice or a quote automatically. Send emails or notifications, and you can schedule activities such as calls and meetings down here. I think in here, again, robocalls, so automated voice calls can be automatically performed from the system.
Yeah, so you can see these two different types of automation rules. So we've got for employee, so that's all your internal tasks and notifications. And then as Dane was just about to go into, the client communications is what's actually being sent out from Bitrix to the particular client that has submitted this particular lead inquiry.
Yeah, and then just quickly into advertising. So we can actually can actually target this particular opportunity on Facebook and Google AdWords as well. So those are the rules or the actions that are performed when we update the stage of this lead. Can actually use triggers as well. So we haven't got any set up here, but instead of manually updating the stage, or instead of the salesperson updating the stage themselves, we can use an internal or an external trigger to do that. So should an incoming call come in from a telephone number that matches the telephone number on this lead, then that can be used as a trigger to update this stage. Similar things with an incoming email up here. We're using email campaigns. We can look at who viewed an email as well, and that can be a trigger to change the stage of a lead as well. Okay, let's just come out of that, and we go into the lead. We are going to, let me just show you these junk statuses. So we saw on that page, on the previous page, that we have a couple of different loss stages. This is where the user is able to actually specify the reason why you've lost that lead. Pretty important to report on why you've won leads, but also why you've lost those as well. And I can update that to, in this case, we can update it to a deal, a contact, and a company. Before I do that, let me just show you this, because we talked a little bit about leads, but it actually might be that you don't need to use leads at all. So leads are there, as we've said, to qualify the opportunity, whether it's a good fit for you, whether the customer's really interested in the product you're offering. But it might be that actually you don't need that stage. You can convert, or you can change your system to a simple CRM. This will just be then deals and contacts, and excluding the lead stage altogether. Let's convert this one. Got the opportunity to put that into any pipeline. I'm going to put it in the cloud pipeline there. And we'll convert to a deal. I'll pass you on to Andy, who will show us what we can do at the deal stage.
Yeah, so at the point of conversion from that lead, you saw the option there to drop it into a particular pipeline. So if we go into the deals, we'll be able to see that we are currently in our cloud opportunities pipeline. And we have, on this demonstration system, we have 3 pipelines. And it's a great way of segmenting your qualified opportunities, because if you can see here, we have an on-premise opportunities pipeline, a cloud opportunities pipeline, and a Bitrix24 add-on opportunities pipeline. Now, the reason why we have 3 is because we work on each individual qualified opportunity very different in each pipeline. So you can see, first of all, that, as I mentioned, we're in the cloud opportunities pipeline. We have a range of stages, pretty much like we did have in the leads. And we're gonna follow this through in a case study in a little bit in the webinar. And you can see we have these stages in the cloud opportunities pipeline. Now, if I go to the on-premise opportunities pipeline, you can then see that I have a complete set of different stages. I only have 4 in this particular pipeline. And what that gives us the ability to do, it really tailor the process of basically generating the sale for that pipeline.
Yeah, I think we sometimes use the example of a property business, an estate agents, where they might have a sales and a lettings department. They would have very different sales processes for those 2 different teams. So they need different stages, they need different automation actions, and they need to be able to report differently or independently on those 2 different departments.
Yeah, certainly. So what Damien touched upon there is not only do we have the different stages per pipeline, we also have the automation rules per pipeline. So if I click onto this automation rules button at the top, and you can see that I'm currently in the cloud opportunities pipeline, we again can automate quite a lot of our tasks required to convert this qualified opportunity into a sale. Now you can see here when we generate the deal, we trigger and change the responsible person because it's come into the cloud pipeline. we have somebody that's solely responsible for these qualified opportunities. And one of the, like I say, we are going to run through this in a case study, but one of the good things when you're in the deals pipeline is that you're probably most likely going to have a stage that it's going to be a quotation or creating a pro forma invoice. And what we can do here is if we click on the add and for employee, if we scroll down to create using source, we can actually have this process automatically create a quote for us. So if I just click on quote, click on save, and then we can rename it to say generate quote, click on save. And what that's going to mean is that once we go through our stages in our pipeline, we're going to hit quotation and it's going to automatically generate a quote for us. Now in our case study, we're not going to do that. We're going to show you how to create it manually. So if we close that one down, click on save, then you'll be able to see later on the run through of these particular stages here.
Okay, I can see on this one, we've actually got a trigger as well. So we didn't have that on the leads, but in this case, we've got just clicking in there and see that does. So should an invoice be paid? So as Andy said, at this stage we were generating a quote or pro forma. Should that be paid? And that will actually update the stage of this. So we'll probably potentially skip out all these stages and go straight to a one deal if they've paid.
Yeah, so how Bitrix refers to an invoice being paid is that, as you will see a little bit later, is once the invoice gets moved to the paid status, then it will automatically associate this to the linked deal and trigger it here.
Okay, and then we can see at the end again, we've got these different closed stages or lost stages as well. So no budget, chose alternative, so you can report on those.
Yeah, everything that you do here, all these stages, do give you the ability to report on, to filter on, and really drill down into where your opportunities sit and how long they've been sat there. And we're going to go into reporting at the last part of this particular webinar. So if we've got any questions, do put them in the box. I think we've had a couple that have come in.
How to get a list of leads from a particular exhibition. You can filter by source, can't you? So if we go into our leads page, then provided you've inputted the lead with the correct source field, then you can do that filter.
Yeah, the filtering tool inside Bitrix is quite a powerful tool. Like you say, you would have to obviously import them, and it's a simple case you can import leads into Bitrix using the little gear icon here and clicking and import, and you would import a CSV. But essentially what you would do then is you would click on the source here in the filtering tool and maybe click on show exhibition, if that's what the source is of your leads. Click on that. Click on search and it will provide you with a filtered list. Now we don't have any leads with that particular source in, so it's returned nothing in that case.
Okay, so we've got a follow-up question, which is, can I send emails out based on the source? So we had an action within the automation that sent out an email. You can add a condition to that, which would allow you to send the email only if it's from a specific source, the source that you specified.
Yeah, just got thank you for the Ubuntu. Yeah, certainly we picked up your email, so we can send over some instructions later. Which features of those you spoke with are available in the free version?
I think the best thing to do is go to Bitrix24.com because there's a lot of features that, I mean, the free version does include a very large number of the features that we spoke about, but I think we're checking out the full list.
I know if you're on the free version of Bitrix, when we come to the automation side, so the automation rules, I know that is not included in the free version, but the plus version is very cheap on the monthly package. Yep. It comes at a very low monthly rate. So I would, if you do want the automation, I would probably recommend upgrading to at least the plus to get those automation rules.
Yep. Okay, let's have a look at a process from the beginning, capturing a lead from a form to converting that to a records within the system, how we can add some activity on that, how we can do a bit of automation, and we'll have a look at document templates as well, because there's a lot of new stuff on how to create document templates. So let's go into a form. We've got a form set up here. So Bitrix includes a form builder tool. So you can generate these forms yourself. This one is published on the standard domain that Bitrix generates. You can just embed this form area onto your own web page if you prefer to do that.
Yeah, not only does this form, like I say, this is produced on a public form provided by Bitrix. If you have a self-hosted version of Bitrix, and you can see here this public page, you can actually create a template for this public page to be hosted on your on-premise version. So it's quite important that something like this, if you are wanting it to be branded, then the on-premise version gives you that. Alternatively, as Damien mentioned, you can get the embed code for these CRM forms and simply embed it onto a website.
Okay, submit that form, and if we go back into our leads, you can see I've got a notification at the top there to say that actually I've got a new lead. If we click on our leads page, then we can see the lead here. If I open up the lead, I think the first thing to do is if I click into, you can see that actually it's created the lead, given it a name, and let's just check this lead. Okay, so what it's done, it's actually generated, it's linked this existing contact in there, because if I go back, if I just go back, I can see it in there. We've actually used a telephone number that already exists in this contact. So the system's been clever enough to find that contact and link it, and that's fine. So it's not put my name in, it's found a contact that already exists inside the system. If we click in the automation, then we can see the actions that we looked at in here a little bit earlier. Some of them are already being performed. So when the lead was first generated, it's already sent out that thank you email. It's already converted or updated the stage to call client, as we can see, and this action as well, schedule the call, that's already been performed. And we can see now that this one's in progress. So this is the control. It's going to notify the supervisor should this lead not progress within the next 3 days. Let's add, go back to the general tab, and you'll see that actually that call has been scheduled in. So let's say we have the call with the client booked in for tomorrow, but let's have the call straight away and close the call down, and we've established the product, the exact product they're interested in. We can select that product from our product list. We can put those in categories over here, select the correct product, and we might actually want to just save that. We might actually just want to save, change the name of this lead as well. Let's call it Cloud Pro Account. Back into the automation tab, and as we progress now through these different stages manually, we'll see that these actually start to update. So this is actually generated a task for us, and if we're happy that this is a lead that we want to follow up, we've spoken with them, we've established the product they're interested in, we decided they've got the budget and we're a good fit, we're going to complete this lead here. And we want to generate actually,
because the contact already exists, we just get the ability to create the deal, because when we're generating, we would usually have, if it was a new inquiry from a new lead, then we would also have the ability to create a contact and a company, but because the contact already exists, then we can just create the deal, which is going to associate it to that contact in the CRM anyway. Okay.
So let's have a look at, because this one already exists, let's have a look at an account within the system. So let's go through this one. So we can see that this is the the deal. You can see at the top here that it's gone into this particular pipeline. I've actually got the option to be able to change that still into a different pipeline. So this is the deal. This is the contact that it's associated with. Click in the contact and add some activity to this manually. You can actually see on the right hand side there's quite a lot of activity already with this contact. But we can call the contact from the system. So you will need a subscription to Bitrix telephony in order to be able to make outgoing and receive incoming telephone calls. It is possible, we're not going to go through it today, it is possible to rent numbers from Bitrix in pretty much any region in the world, and of course, make and receive telephone calls. It will actually record the telephone conversation inside Bitrix. I know that in some regions there's some regulations about storing telephone conversations, so you can enable that or disable that. We can play automated messages that tell people that it's being recorded. So that's a telephone call. What we probably want to do next is schedule a follow-up call or meeting. Let's schedule a meeting. We can do that using our calendar here and assign it to.
Yeah, I think one of the good things with meetings is because Bitrix offers you the ability to sync your own calendar, it will also provide the availability for you in here as well. So you'll be able to see, I think we saw it a little bit, if we just said today, I think you can see we're not going to be available from 12 o'clock till 1 o'clock tomorrow on the 5th of March. And if we try to book it, then it wouldn't let us save it. So it does sync with Bitrix does sync with your calendar, whether you use Google Calendars, Outlook, things like that. So it will bring your availability into Bitrix.
Yeah, you can see if we just scroll down this page, we've actually got quite a lot of booked activity. We can tick these off as and when we complete these items. These two activities at the top are actually pinned. I can unpin those. So if you need to save something, there's an email here I might need to save. You can keep items pinned at the top. If we scroll down the page, you'll see the full list of activity. Last thing we might want to do is just send an email to this client. So Bitrix, let's see if we've got a template in here. So Bitrix can integrate fully with your existing email. You're going to send emails from your email with your company domain, of course, your correct email address. So we can send emails out, we can receive emails in to the system. They will sync up automatically. Let's just send that one out and it will record as it has done in the activity here. Let's just have a look at how we sync our emails, because that's something we get asked quite a lot.
Yeah, so Bitrix offers a tool to integrate your email into Bitrix. So if I just click on the Mail tab here, you can see that I have a mailbox already attached here. And if I just click on Connect New, you'll be able to see the mailboxes that Bitrix does integrate with. So everything from Gmail to Exchange to Office 365. And once you've integrated your email, you'll be able to see it will pull in all the emails into your mailbox here. And that all depends on some of your settings. So if we just click into the mailbox settings, and one of the important aspects and what we're going to talk about and what David's been speaking about there is the integration with the CRM. So what Bitrix does is it checks every inbound email to the email account that you've connected. And if the sender of that email exists in your CRM as a contact or a company, then it will take a copy of that email and embed it into the contact's activity stream, for an example. Every email that you send from your email account that's connected. Now, just to point out that you don't have to manage your email inside Bitrix. You can email out of, if you use Outlook, for example, you can email out, but Bitrix will still pick it up. And if you send an email and that contact exists in the CRM, again, it will take a copy of that email and put it into the activity stream exactly like what you can see here for your sent email. So it's a great tool to integrate with.
Okay, let's close down the contact. So you can see the activity on the right hand side that we've added, the planned activity, and then the activity that we've made. We didn't go through this, but on the left hand side just quickly is the contact detail. This is fully customizable. So if I'm an administrator, I've got the option to be able to move these fields. I've got the option to be able to, these two links are available to administrators, so I can select additional fields here or even add new fields. And you can actually categorize these into different sections. So we've got a section here, one down here. We can rename these sections and add additional fields into these sections. You can organize the data in the way you want it. You want to then set that. So what you'd actually do is, okay, so we can change settings in here so that all users within the system will see the same, essentially the same page layout. Let's just close down that, go back into the deal. If I open up the automation tab again, what I'm going to do is just run through some of these stages. We did add at this stage, quotation stage, we did add a automation to create a quote, but we said that we would do that, show you that manually. So I'm going to do that now. We've got the option at the top to generate a quote from this particular deal. So the reason why you have deals and quotes is a deal will be a general opportunity. You can give it a value, you can add products to it. We can then generate a quote or multiple quotes from that deal. So it might be that actually the client needs to see different options, and so you might be generating 2 or 3 different quotes with different options for that client. Let's click in quote. And there we are. So it's brought in the product that we added in there. It's associated with all the correct contacts. Again, we've got, I'm not going to this, but we've got different stages that we can assign to the quote. And if you go into documents at the top, it is possible now for us to generate our PDF document from the quote.
Yeah, so one of the good things is with the documents in the CRM is now that Bitrix allows you to create your own template pretty easily using a Word document. So you don't need to know any code. You can style up your document in a Word document, use your logo, brand it up to match your company branding. And when you generate the preview here, you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like with all the information of the quote in the right place.
I don't think we've got branding on this one. I think this is a...
Yeah, while that's generating, you can download it as a PDF and send it via an email client separately, or you can also send it via an email. So it's not available to send yet because it's still generating. Finally, yeah, also, so you can send via email, download, or you could provide a public link for someone to be able to access it online as well.
I think that's probably preferable, isn't it? I think sending attachments on emails is not always that great.
So once that's been sent, all you would need to do is update the status to send to client, and then you can say it's being reviewed by client.
Okay, finally, let's just go back into this deal, and we can win that deal. So again, as we looked at earlier, we've got different opportunities around if we want to lose it, so we can report on that. Let's win it in this case. Okay, let's have a look if we've got any questions.
Are leads primarily used for business to business, or can they be used for business to customer?
So you can use either. We've shown you, I think, contact companies and contacts. So a company can be associated with a contact or multiple contacts, and that will be normal for a business, of course. If you want to sell, you're doing B2C, then you'll just not use the company's module. You'll just associate a lead with a contact. And if you remember, when we convert the lead, it gives us the option to be able to convert it into different records and have the option to convert into a deal and a contact, or a deal, a company and a contact.
Can we move a customer from an email campaign to a lead based on a qualifier statement? So, I mean, one thing we didn't show you in the leads was that you could have, in your automation, you could have conditional elements to it. So we could move a lead based on a particular stage, based on a condition. So let me just show you that quickly. It's something that we didn't touch upon in the automation rules. So if we go into a lead and click on automation, then in our automation rules here, if we go into this email for an example, we can actually add a condition. So we could say if a particular field that the customer has filled out is, let's just say source in this example, equals email, then we would send this email. And based on your different sources, you can then create multiple different actions and activity to send out from the system.
Okay. So let's have a look finally at some how we can do reporting. There's a number of different ways within Bitrix you can report on the data that exists inside the system. So look, if we go into invoices, we've not looked in invoices yet, see what tools are available for us. Let's go into reports first. So over on the right hand side, you've got different options to view the data, and these exist within every module. So that's leads, deals, companies, contacts, quotes, and invoices. First one here is the reports page. This is fully customizable, so these are all drag and drop items, so I can create or break my page like this very easily, and you have the option to add add a report, so I can add additional items or widgets to this page. If you click into each of the settings of each one, you can then configure what data you're showing in each of those individual widgets. Go into list view. And then again, we're on the invoices page. I can see, again, invoices have stages, as we've seen with all the other items within the CRM. I can use the filter at the top to filter by any field that exists within an invoice. In this case, it might be like, say, I want to filter by currency. Got some in pounds and some in US dollars. I can select that currency field. Okay, it's not set up on here, unfortunately. It's filtered by something else. I can filter by responsible person. Let's go into my filter again. And we're filtering currently by myself. I can take that out. I can choose a different person. In this case, it's John Smith that's responsible for most of these, so I can select that user. You can actually select multiple fields though, so we take these out. I could select John Smith. I could select the status of the lead, so the invoices. I could select the date that the invoice was created on, or put in a date range there. But in this case, we're just going to select all of John Smith's invoices.
You know, another one of the good things with this filtering tool is that if you do click on the little gear icon here, we can export them to CSV or Excel. So if you do want to get the data out, that's not just invoices, that's quotes, that's deals, and that's leads as well. So you can export all the data out quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can change this view, this list view, these column views as well. I can move these fields around. If I want to select additional columns, I've got a settings button up here that allows me to do that. So let's just look in Kanban lastly. So the third and final way that we can view this set of invoices. This allows me to see actually a total for invoices at that particular stage. So sent to customer here, I can see I've got this value of invoices that have been sent to customer. I can see I've got this value of invoices that have been paid. I can still use the filter at the top to filter by responsible people or add a date range or any other type of filter in there. And on this view, it does allow me to easily move these across, so I can update the stage of these very easily. This will update the actual value on the column as well. So a number of different ways of viewing data inside the CRM. You can use these different pages, as I say, on any of the modules that exist within the CRM. We actually have a start page as well. Let's open that one up, which allows you to add data from really any module in the system. So it might be on this page you want to see number of leads that you're generating in a period of time, how many companies you've generated, how many quotes you've won and lost, and we have this sales target widget as well. So you can actually assign a sales target to individuals within the sales team and see how they're progressing along that one. Let's do a quick look at this one, because this one actually shows you the activity from salespeople as well. So in this case, John Smith, I can see how many leads and contacts and companies and deals he's completed. I can see how many he's actually got outstanding as well on this widget. Again, like in the invoices, this is all configurable. I can remove any of these widgets and add additional widgets up here. Don't think we've got time to look into it, but we do have a report builder tool as well. So if you can't display the information you need inside one of the standard widgets, you can create your own custom report inside there.
So how does Bitrix calculate the invoices paid? Is there a module that allows for forms of payment? Does Bitrix process the transaction? So if it's actually receiving the money, Bitrix can integrate with things like PayPal. There's a standard integration with the application in the application store with that. But essentially how it calculates them as paid is that you originally saw the statuses in the invoices. Once you converted it to basically one, that essentially is paid. So
yeah, and then you can do a filter on one. So you can look at a filter on one invoices for a particular month and see a total of invoices paid for that month. Okay, so we mentioned cloud and we mentioned self-hosted a couple of times. I think, to clear up what's available on those, I mean, there's a lot of different cloud editions really as well you need to look at. So we had a question about what was available on the free one. If you go to Bitrix24.com, you can look at the different features available across the different cloud editions. But in terms of what's available on the cloud and what's available on the self-hosted, I think really pretty much everything we've looked at is available. They both include all the modules we've looked at: leads, deals, invoices, quotes. They both include reporting. You can customize the layouts on the cloud or self-hosted solutions of Bitrix. They both include all the automation tools. I think with self-hosted there's the option to do a little bit more integration, and you can create some more advanced business processes using injecting your own PHP code. But essentially on the CRM, I think the cloud and the self-hosted are very similar in terms of what they offer.
Yeah, I think everything we've covered today is available on the cloud and the self-hosted with a few minor differences. But that's for the paid versions of Bitrix. The automation side of Bitrix does come on the paid version, it's not on the free version.
Okay, so that's it. In summary, we have tools for managing all CRM marketing, including email and SMS, voice campaigns. There is considerable automation available within the leads and deals stages. You can communicate on multiple channels. So we looked at widgets on your website. We didn't look at it today, but you can communicate with people from social media platforms like Facebook, reply and communicate with them directly from your Bitrix platform. All the records within Bitrix allow you to build up a full 360-degree view of all your team's interactions with that particular customer. And of course, there's lots of ways to forecast sales and report for management within Bitrix. So that's it. We have a webinar at the same time every week. We have one covering self-hosted, some advantages of that product. We look at project management in detail. We look at the HR tools. We look at a webinar that just looks at business processes. And then a couple of new ones. We look at sites, so how you can create full websites or landing pages that we touched on today. And then we have a webinar that looks at telephony in detail. In addition to that, we have a live Q&A session on Bitrix's YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/user/Bitrix24 and subscribe to them, then you'll receive a notification when we do those live sessions. We do one a week. And if you want to register for webinars, there's the address to do that.
So we've just got a couple of just questions just to finish up on. Does the status change automatically? So the status on an invoice doesn't change automatically. You would have to progress it through, give permissions on who can do that. Is it only PayPal? And Bitrix does attach to quite a few different others. I would probably recommend clicking on the application link in the left-hand menu and just searching for the provider that you want.
Okay, that's it. We've run out of time, so thanks for your time today. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you. Bye for now.